Good evening. Keisha's phone goes off. It's Tuesday night. Just a bit outside radio show live on the air, live on Facebook, live on YouTube. 7:30 ish. Pardon our lateness. As always, you got Marky, you got Keisha. We ask you to share the link, share the love. And Keisha, I want to go a little bit outside this week and just kind of take care of a couple things before the show really kicks off.
Yes.
All right.
Happy, what's today, Tuesday? Happy Tuesday, everybody.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
First off, I've got some lightning and stuff going on around here, so if the internet gets knocked out, I apologize. I can't control the weather. But you know, the other thing is a lot more serious, and I'm the wrestling guy around here. We know that. Big wrestling. Back in the 80s, and the wrestling world took a really huge loss 2 Thursdays ago, and that's or last Thursday, the passing of Hulk Hogan. And I didn't make a Facebook post, and I think that kind of threw some people off because I did get some texts about that. Not necessarily that I didn't make it, but they're like, "Hey, did you hear?" and whatnot. And so I thought I'd address it right here and kind of just say my thoughts on it. And
Hey, Mark, wait a minute, hold on. Before you say your thoughts, because I have a feeling it's going to be very important. You're kind of going in and out the mic.
Oh, really?
A little bit. Yeah. So I don't know if you need to reposition yourself or the mic. Maybe if you want to.
You know what? The stream's kind of being wonky, so it might be that.
Okay.
Which
you actually sound a little bit better now.
Okay.
Yeah, you sound a lot better actually. So go ahead.
Okay, cool. So like I said, Hulk Hogan passed away last Thursday, 71, and to say he was the biggest wrestling star in the world is, you know, without a doubt. But the man was also with his faults, and I think that's I know that's the in the 80s and the 90s, I was a massive Hulkamaniac. I can literally remember back in like elementary school, the Scholastic Book Fair, picking up a Hulk Hogan book. And, you know, that was a massive part of my childhood. But as we know, in 2015, the video that had surfaced a couple years earlier, which kind of, you'd think that the controversy would have come out then, but it took a couple years. Hogan was caught on tape saying some, he said a slur. He said it several times, and as my buddy Paul likes to call him, Hard R Hogan, he said it with a hard R. And I came to grips with that was who the person was a long time ago. I can separate my feelings as far as like Hulk Hogan in the ring and Terry Bollea outside of it. And while I do... I don't want to say mourn, honestly. I can appreciate his contributions to wrestling. It would not be where it is today. And I do wish all condolences to his loved ones and his family and everything that will miss him. I can't really say that, you know, necessarily that it impacted me like a lot of other wrestling deaths. I appreciate what he did, but you know, I hope that in the 10 years since that happened, I hope he did change for the better.
That's well said, Mark. You know, I talked a lot about this with my mom.
Okay.
You know, because, you know, when it went down, I think I went to visit my folks like maybe a day or two later. And, you know, we talked about it. And, you know, I was showing her some of the activity, I'll just say quote unquote activity on social media. Specifically, I mean, I'm a black woman, so I'm talking specifically about the black community. And my mom, she was kind of surprised, but she was not informed. Let me just say that. Let me put that out there. She did not know, why everybody was so upset. And, we had a talk. about it, and and I use specifically my feelings, which pretty much was feelings across the board for anybody, black, my age, or I mean WWE and everything. That was really big.
Yeah.
When we were younger, and like you said, he was the biggest star for WWE wrestling. I mean, Hulkamania was everywhere.
Yeah.
My brothers even had paraphernalia. Jimmy and Jason.
I'm sure they were tearing out their shirts too as kids.
Yeah. Like I specifically remember that, and I was telling her, the appearance at the Republican National Convention was like a serious shock and gut punch to a lot of Black Americans.
Yeah.
And for a lot of us, that was our first introduction to I guess like his views or whatever. And then these videos, pop up. Like, I mean, the best way that I can put it is, we felt betrayed. Like a betrayal.
I'm sure, yeah.
And it was just like a lot of people were like, Jesus, this is like my childhood just went down the crapper, And I don't know. I did not rejoice in his death. I'm not going to take it that far, but I will tell you what, I didn't think twice about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, that's just where I was at.
Yeah, ambivalent.
Yeah. So, for people out there that is saying, even if you do see, someone post or making light of, his passing, you have to look at it from another perspective. Don't just look at it from your perspective.
Yeah.
This is like I said, like a serious gut punch to a lot of Black Americans. So, I always like to say, let's give grace. Let's try to empathize.
Yep.
Because, if your childhood, if you find out that your childhood, hero is racist 30, 35 years down the line, it's going to mess with you.
Oh, for sure.
It's not like 5 years. It's like you done went your whole life thinking this dude is okay, and he's not. So, I just want to put that out there. Thank you, Mark. I mean, I think everything, you hit all the points perfectly.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. So we're gonna jump into this thing now.
I want all the stories, the road stories.
Oh, yes. All right, before we talk about my road trip, let's just do a little bit of what's going on around town. We here in the 410, it's been great. As far as entertainment and things are concerned. And this past week and this upcoming weekend has been very eventful. I just want to spend a few minutes talking about Nas performing with the Baltimore Symphony Orchestra here in Baltimore. I mean, it was absolutely amazing. Just to have that type of music in combination with classical music and real, complete orchestra, real instruments, and amazing. He wore a tuxedo, which I thought was just the cherry on top. Tuxedo whole time. Awesome. Brought AZ out there. I mean, it was just a really classical evening. I did not make it, and I am very upset I was not able to get a ticket. But from the clips that I saw, it was absolutely amazing. So big shout out to Nas and his performance. I mean, I just heard it was just absolutely fantastic.
Awesome.
Yeah. Similarly, I believe in like the next week or so, Jeezy will be doing the same thing. So this might be like a new trend with some of the rappers, and maybe, which I would welcome and I would love, maybe a trend with rappers from our generation.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah, I mean, Jeezy, Nas came out long before Jeezy did. But, Jeezy's up there in age. He's a seasoned veteran. So, I don't know. I mean, if it is a trend, it's one that I welcome. I think it's fantastic. it's something different,
Yeah.
you know, and you know, you get to hear some of your greatest hits in a completely different sound. So I'm here for that all. Yeah,
Right.
so that's
awesome.
really cool. Super cool. Also this weekend in the sports realm, we've got a lot of fun going down at Camden Yards. Yes. The Savannah Bananas are in town this weekend. They're going to be playing games against the Orioles Friday and Saturday. I had tickets for Saturday, but I double booked myself. No, not nice.
Not.
I'm kind of pissed off. Yes, I bought tickets for this, and then excuse me, and then I went and bought tickets to see Lil Wayne in Atlantic City on the same day. So, yeah. So I had to give up the Savannah Banana tickets because they were the cheaper ones of them too.
Honestly, like how sought out those are, though, like how quickly they sell out, I think I would have picked the Bananas.
I know. They got hotel arrangements and everything, and it's just, I don't know how I messed up. I mean, I really mucked that up. But, you know, I have no problem traveling and getting on the road, so I said, you know, hey, I'll just catch the Bananas next year if I can.
Yeah. They'll be in D.C. again, too, so you always got options.
Yeah. I mean, there'll be other opportunities. So they'll be here doing all of their acrobatics and slick dance moves. And you know, now that I'm thinking about it, did you see that video on social media of Yo trying to do the backflip and face planting?
No.
Oh, are you serious?
When was this?
Oh my goodness, it was last week. It was a member of the Savannah Bananas on somebody's morning news show. And my man went to do a backflip at the end of his segment. Jada, I know you're listening. You got to send this to Mark. And he goes to do the backflip, completely misses it, and like face plant, like belly flop on the hard ground. Okay. I mean, it was so shocking and stunning. Like the woman, like the lady anchor, she couldn't even hold it. She lost her shit right in the middle of the broadcast and was just busting out laughing. And the guy, he was just flabbergasted. I mean, it was really hard. I mean, he hit the floor so hard. The mic pack came out, bounced off the ground. Oh man.
Wow.
It was, I mean, it looked painful. Okay, but I'm going to have to send that to you offline, and maybe maybe we'll put it on the show page. I don't know. That kind of feels like bullying a little bit. I'm sorry.
I'm surprised I didn't see that one because I always get their videos like in my IG reels.
Yes. Oh my gosh! I can't wait. I can't wait to get your reaction. Okay, yeah. So hopefully everybody is in good health and can perform and play at Camden Yards this weekend because a lot of the folks from the DMV area will be coming up to see them, and that's going to be a lot of fun because they do put on a good show.
Have they announced who the?
You said what?
Have they announced like who the former Oriole that's going to be playing is going to be? Because they always have like a hometown player.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm sure. Yeah, I was going to say, the way I like to put it is, they're like the Harlem Globetrotters of baseball.
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah. Something along those lines. So, yeah. So if you got tickets, have a great time, and I can't wait to see all the videos and pictures this weekend, because alas, I will be in Atlantic City. Okay, so let's get to the main course of the menu. So your favorite co-host is on the road this past, what was that, 2 weeks ago, week and a half ago?
Week and a half, yeah.
Yeah, about a week and a half ago. Yeah. That's about right. And, you know, Mark and I have kind of, you know, we've talked about this several times, made a commitment to women's sports. We always support women's athletes as well as sports. And I personally have, made a certain level of commitment to the WNBA, and, hopefully I'll, this fall and winter, I plan on expanding that to women's college basketball. And, Mark, I'm just so happy that we really made the effort to do this, because the journey has been absolutely amazing and enlightening and a lot of fun. And, my interest, fortunately, took me to Indianapolis to the WNBA All Star Weekend. Now, this is me elevating my level of fandom, because it's one thing to go to like a preseason game or spring training, right? Then it's another thing to go to the regular season, right? Then the next level is like playoff game, Then the next level is like, conference championship, and then, those next level, like that, those top levels would be, of course, championships. And right below that, I would have to say is like, All Star games. Because, you get everybody, and it varies from league to league. And I'm going to speak about that too. You get to see all of your favorite athletes in one setting. You have all of the festivities and whatnot, which you do get at the top level, the championship level, but, it's a different experience. Okay? So, I traveled out to Indianapolis with two friends of mine. We hit the road. We drove. We went right through the mountains, straight up through Pennsylvania, over to Ohio. And we went a little bit through West Virginia, then ultimately to Indiana. It was about it's supposed to be 8.5 hour drive. But of course, we had to take a couple stops, stretch our legs, get something to eat. So I would say it ended up taking us about 10 hours. Okay. But it was a cool 10 hours, man, because the landscape was just absolutely beautiful. I remember because we kind of went a different way. I was expecting us to get on 70 and go straight across. Yeah. Because you can legit take 70, clear across to like Colorado. Yeah. And not get off, at all. If anybody knows your interstates, 70 West will take you across the country easy. But I guess because of the time that we left and the traffic situations, conditions, and everything like that, Waze actually took us up through 83. Okay, so we kind of went, instead of heading west, we kind of went like northwest, kind of, and which was cool. And I said, like, different and unexpected, because it's just a different type of landscape. And one of the coolest things about it was there was probably a stretch of like 30 or 40 minutes where we hit 3 different tunnels where you was legit going through a mountain.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That was probably like my favorite thing about the drive, like that particular. We were in like the Allegheny area of Pennsylvania, and like I said, you legit could tell that you were, driving straight through a mountain, and we did that 3 times on 3 tunnels. So that was really cool.
Those were probably some long tunnels too, not like 30 seconds, like.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Most definitely. Long enough for you to have the thought of, what happens if the whole thing collapses? I don't know maybe, but I always have those, those quick. So I really don't like to fly, because I will be inside my head the whole time. But I would be prepared for anything. But yeah, so that was really good. We finally made it up to Indy, and we just started getting ourselves together for these events. We had tickets to the 3-point contest and skills challenge on Friday, as well as the actual All Star Game on Saturday. So we had a lot to cram in a little bit of time, man. And I swear to God, we did the damn thing. We got up there Thursday night, so we had all day Friday and Saturday to do as much as we could. Friday we got up and ate brunch at this place because I took the name down because the food was just fantastic and I had to give them a shout out.
Oh, wow.
It was called the Broken Plate, and it was in Indianapolis. We stayed on the east side, so we were kind of on the east side, and we had some fantastic breakfast. And the thing that was so awesome about this place was because they served an item called biscuit beignets.
Oh wow!
It was a combination of a biscuit and a beignet, and dude, like, they were so nice. I was, you know me, I'm a fat girl at heart, so I immediately asked about these biscuit beignets and everything, and I guess from the way that I was talking and all my questions, it's like, you're not from here, are you? And I'm like, no, I ain't never heard of no biscuit beignets, but they sound delicious. And, so he was like, he's like, where are you from? And I'm like, man, we grew up here from Baltimore to go. So we got a whole order. We got a 6-piece of biscuit beignets for free on the house.
What?
As a welcome to Indian. I ate 3 of them joints. It was like, it was so delicious. So, big shout out to the Broken Plate. If you're ever in Indianapolis, please try to go there. Check out their food. The chicken and waffles were good. Pancakes are good. And the biscuit beignets is just something that, they're just out of this world. Totally worth it. And I believe that there are like 6 locations scattered throughout Indianapolis. So
nice.
You should be able to find one in the area. Yeah, they're that good. So, big shout out to the Broken Plate. Friday, so that took us, we ate, we rested up, and we went to Gainsbridge Arena, which is the home of the Indiana Fever, as well as the Indiana Pacers, which, I thought was pretty cool. Clearly, the Indiana Fever, because of Caitlin Clark, they had the capacity to share the venue. Yeah. With the NBA team, but that is not the case with all of the WNBA teams. Yeah. Okay, the Mystics do not play at what are they calling that thing now? Capital One Arena. Yep. They don't play there. Okay, they have their own facility. But Mark, I was thinking about this, and thinking about the growth and everything like that. I am expecting, maybe within the next 5 years or so, more and more teams to start sharing arenas with the NBA teams.
I wouldn't be surprised. Like, WNBA, like, the last couple of years, the ratings have gone through the roof. We've talked several times about the exponential growth. They're adding franchises right and left to, if anybody knows anything about a league product or anything, adding teams is the absolute, that's like the benchmark. Yeah. Adding franchises, that just lets that should be the benchmark. Everybody should understand that this team is not, this league is not only doing well, but it's excelling. Mm-hmm. So they just added 3 new franchises. So I'm expecting more over the next few years or so, more WNBA teams to have the capacity to do that, and that is also my hope, because it's just really cool to have everything in one venue. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so the venue was super cool. It's always great to go to a new arena and, take a little walk around, because, with every arena, every stadium, they always make sure that they give you a little bit of care.
And to me, that's like one of the coolest parts. I'll always make sure that I do at least one lap around the level that, I'm sitting on when I'm attending a sporting event at a new venue. And, I was able to see some of the, the old Pacer gear, Reggie Miller, bits and things like that. So that, that's always super cool.
Very cool.
Yeah, always cool. Love it. Love it.
Now,
so yeah, go ahead.
Every arena, stadium, everything, they always have their unique food items, and some arenas don't quite live up to expectations. But was there anything Gamebridge offered you that said, okay, this is indie right here?
Yeah, I think and this is probably pretty characteristic of like the Midwest, sausages and hot dogs.
Okay.
Are like the big thing. I do not eat them, but I do know that they were like, a special item at the concessions. We did eat some of the other food there. Food was great. They also too, they did have these huge, you could tell that they were like handmade soft pretzels.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And when I say you can tell that they're handmade, it doesn't look like it's been processed. Like they're like the actual fat, like rolled, twisted dough.
Yeah.
That you see. Yeah. So that was also a little bit unique to the area. So yeah. One of the best things I would say about the arena was like the actual seats. They were comfortable. I mean, they were great. Of course. Yeah, go ahead.
Watching that All Star Game, I was like looking at the seats. Honestly, I was like, they got like recliners for every chair because those look good.
Yeah, all of them, yo, all of them. It did not matter if you was on the top or on the floor. That was one of the. As soon as I sat down, I was like, well, damn, like we're reclining a little bit. Like this is posh. That is something that is very unique because, you usually don't get that type of comfort until you get down to the first tier or floor seating.
Yeah.
But like I said, it was throughout the arena, which I thought was really fantastic, and everybody else needs to adopt that. Like, seriously, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that brings us to the skills challenge, and in the 3-point contest. Let me just tell you, it was an exciting night. I mean, you watch these competitions on TV, but it's just so different, like actually being there. And I don't know if it was just the competition and the way that the tournament went this year. That kind of made it a little extra exciting, especially with the drama, with the skills challenge. But it was just really great. Natasha Cloud, who is one of my favorite, used to play for the Washington Mystics. She now plays for the New York Liberty. I was completely heartbroken when they traded her or when they let her go. She won the skills challenge, and in the final round, she legit won the skills challenge with 1.1 seconds left to go on the clock. I mean, it was absolutely thrilling. Brought the house down. Everybody was just pumped and screaming and hollering, whether you were a fan of hers or not. Whether you knew who she was or not. I mean, it was just absolutely amazing. Right. Really cool. And then they followed it up with, a pretty good 3-point contest.
Yeah.
We all knew Sabrina, also from the New York Liberties. She was like the top gun, and, basically she delivered. I was more so just happy to see a Mystics player representing, and not only a Mystics player, but our beloved rookie, who we've been talking about since we got her, Sonia Citron. Man, she came through, she represented, and, in all honesty, she, handled the pressure because, let's face it, this is your first season just in the league. That's a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
And she handled the pressure wonderfully. She didn't make it to the second round, but she did good. She did extremely well. I was proud of her. And little did we know, I didn't find this out until after I got back from the weekend, that Sabrina, who won the 3-point contest, told her before they played in the tournament, she said, if I win this thing, I'm going to give you half my check.
What?
You didn't hear this either? Oh, my God.
No.
Yo, Mark, when I tell you, this was like the best All-Star weekend, and I'm going to get into this later, my reasons why I say this. But, yes, she said it at the press conference. She said, I won this thing. They gave me this check, and now I have to honor my pledge. And they're like, what are you talking about? And it was like, oh man, yeah, I told Sabrina that, I was extremely impressed that a rookie would take part in this competition, and she was like, she handled it like a pro, and she's like, she knows how much pressure comes with that, and, it was unbelievable. She was saying, when we were lining up, I told her, if I win this thing, I'm going to give her half my check, and she gave her half of her check,
wow.
Which I thought was amazing. Yeah. Really amazing, really humbling. I've always been a fan of Sab, but that just kind of catapulted her to another level with me as far as being a fan of hers. And man, it was great.
Yeah,
it was absolutely great. Yeah. So we had an absolutely fantastic time on Friday night. Of course, we were exhausted, so we went back to the Airbnb. We turned it in, laid it down right after, we got back right after the skills challenge night. And we got ourselves up and early the next day. Saturday was a very busy day. Saturday was the best day, of course. They had a lot of festivities all around town. And I got to give a shout out to Jana. Jana, thank you so much for putting me D with a lot of the festivities going around. She shot me a little message and told me about this WNBA Live, and we looked into that, and we got tickets for it. Okay. And we went to this, we went to the WNBA Live, which is just it was a festivity at the convention center, the Indianapolis Convention Center, which was, Mark, you'll appreciate this, from the minor league baseball stadium. So I'm kind of upset that I didn't get a picture of that. It was a little rainy, so I didn't get a chance to get a picture of the stadium. But that was really cool to see their minor league team, and they had a game going at that time. And Indianapolis's convention center is huge. Okay, the day of WNBA Live, event would take up the whole convention center, right? Yeah. Dude. Not even a piece. As I was walking through to get to the WNBA portion of the convention center, I passed 2 conferences. I passed a legit full boxing ring. Yes, full audience. It was crazy. Dog, it was crazy. We had to go through 2 sections of metal detectors as we were passing through. Man, it was just amazing. I thought our convention center was pretty, or have a couple of shots against Jake from State Farm. And also in that same area, they had Juju signing autographs and taking pictures. So that was really cool. I got saw everything that I needed to see because, her time was up and she was starting to leave. Just so happens, as I'm walking away, Juju's entourage walks right past me, and I get a nice, cool video with her, and joined her entourage for about 10-15 paces, and just really had a good time with that, and just really happy that nobody in her security decided to break my arms or legs. So I'm looking at the video afterward, thinking to myself, like, you must be crazy.
Right?
But I mean, it's just cool. The last couple of things that I saw, there was a panel with another big WNBA star where they talked about basketball and fashion. She's known for her blonde hair and her fashion. She used to play for Stanford and currently plays with Paige on the Dallas Wings. It was really cool to hear her talk about fashion and all the things that she has going on with that. Really cool panel. But all in all, like, the WNBA Live is just, like, seriously one of the best I've ever experienced as a fan.
Very cool.
I'm trying to think. Did I hit all of the pictures? I think I hit them all.
I think so, yeah.
Yep. Wait a minute. Hold on. I'm looking at what I sent you. The last picture there. Can you put up the one with me? Excuse me. And the young one with the hijab on.
Oh yeah.
Yes, and this woman she's really big in women's basketball. Her name is Jamad Finn. Players who is an absolute baller, but has made a name for herself. Playing fully clothed. Standing for her religious beliefs. You can look her up on the internet. She's everywhere. Also, another sweet individual. I just so happened to be passing her in the hallway. We talked about her playing game, how she came up and how she got interested, and it was just really amazing to me how humble everybody was. Nobody was above the fans. Yeah. Nobody was above the staff, and you could tell that everybody genuinely wanted to be there because they had time for everybody, as much time as they could give.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and to me that was really unique, man. That was really, really unique. And so we did the WNBA Live thing all the way till 4:00, and then we hightailed it all the way over to Speedway Village, home of the Indianapolis 500, to meet the good brother, man. He's invited to the cookout now, Mark, and and I know you know what I mean when I say that. Oh, yeah. Jay Hunger, Jay, my man, I just cannot thank you enough, Mark. I cannot thank you enough for letting him know that I was even going to be out there. But he reached out to me. We were able to link. Man, he treated me to lunch. He gave us the full Speedway Village experience. We went down to the track, Indianapolis 500 track, took some pictures. It was really cool, massive. We had some pizza there. I had to have some authentic Indianapolis pizza. We went to this place called Brazzini's, and it was like a New York style Italian place. Great food, great beers. I had to have some local beer too.
Yeah.
They had like 2 breweries over in Speedway Village, and we went to one. Of course, we had beer at the pizza spot. Then we went to the brewery, and had beers there as well. Was able to see some of the shops, the racing shops, tire shops, stuff where you go to get, to maintenance your vehicle and things like that. It was really cool. The only way it would have been better is if there was an actual race going on that day. And, I can be able to experience that. I have now added that to my sports bucket list because, it was like its own little world.
Wow.
Yeah. And honestly, you look at the racetrack, on TV, and you know that it's big, but you don't get the gravity of it until you actually see it in person. Okay, Mark, on the short sides, there it's a half a mile long, which is pretty. I mean, that's a long way.
Yeah.
And the way that the bowl is, it looks like, them cars be coming around there almost like on a 90-degree angle. I mean, it's really amazing. On the long side, it's a mile long.
Jeez.
Yeah, I understand how huge it is until you're actually, face to face with this massive structure, and you can only really get one piece. You can't even see the whole entire thing.
Wow.
The whole entire track all the way around.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Mile long. So, I mean, yeah, so big shout out to Jay for taking his time out to show us around and giving us a full experience and a lot of history of the Speedway Village. And it was so crazy because it didn't even dawn on me. He kept saying, "Oh, Mina said Speedway." So I'm like, okay, yeah, all right, we'll meet you at Speedway. And we look it up, we get the address, and when we start to pull up, I'm like, holy shit, is that the track? We're in the car, like our mouths are like open, jaws dropped as we pull up into the parking spot and see Jay. And Jay's like, everything okay? We're like, we had no idea. We were coming to the actual track. Dude, we were running around like kids on Christmas. It was crazy, yo. And he was just cracking up, got the biggest laugh, kick out of that. Because we had no idea. I mean, just eternally grateful. I feel like I got to, in a short amount of time, I got a big piece of Indianapolis, dog.
Nice.
Like no doubt.
Awesome.
No doubt. Yeah, had a great lunch with him. Got it pre-gamed. After we left him, we went to the All Star Game, and honestly, this part was like the biggest part of my whole weekend. Everybody knows that the big three, Chinny, Drea, and Elle Duncan, they're all on ESPN. They do women's basketball. They do, college and WNBA. I am in love with all three of them. I love them all so much. They're so awesome. I saw them on Friday for the skills challenge, and I just was saying to myself, I've got to meet them. I've got to get a picture. I was not able to on Friday. I was a little bummed about that. But as soon as I walked into Gainesbridge Arena on Saturday, there they were. And Mark, I don't fan out to the point where I can't talk, or I'm like fumbling my words and whatnot. But dude, this was one of those embarrassing times. I could barely get my words together, man.
Wow.
At first, I met Chinny, and I was just like, Chinny, oh my God, can I get a picture with you? And she's like, oh yeah, sure. And then I was like, wait a minute. And I started looking around, I was like, can I get off the ring? I'm like yelling. And they ran up and they took a picture with me and everything. And they were laughing because, of course, I was screaming at the top of my lungs. And Elle Duncan asked me, she's like, where are you from? And when I told her I was from Baltimore, Maryland, the way that Elle Duncan lit up was like, she was like, oh, B-More in the house. We got B-More in the house, which I thought was, if you know Elle Duncan, if you know her personality, she's the most gangster of the big three, but, you can tell that she's a big fan of the 410. And, again, the coolest moment, after I walked away from them, my hands received. Best part of the whole weekend, for real. Watched the All Star Game. It was fantastic. entertaining. It was a blowout, but still entertaining. They had Glorilla performing at halftime, which was like cherry on top. I got me a little Glorilla concert in while I was there as well. And I'm just telling you, seriously, like one of the best weekends, one of the best sporting events that I had ever attended.
That's awesome.
And yeah, man, of course, you come off of that high, you come back to reality, you jump on social media. We had the CBA thing, we had the controversy with the players. Pay us with you owe us. We have a lot of toxic masculinity, frail male egos with people, talking shit about the league and not even knowing the history of what it takes to build a league and how they are exactly, and I'm going to say this very plain and clear, the WNBA is on the same exact path of the NBA. The best, if you are not going to go back and put your history and things like that, the best thing that I can reference, Mark, we both watched The Winning Time on HBO, the series about the Lakers, when it came out. One of the biggest things about Winning Time, especially in the first half of the first season, was how the NBA was in the crapper in 1979.
Yeah.
I mean, bleeding out. They were on the verge of not even having a Los Angeles Lakers team anymore. If it was not for this Larry Bird, Magic Johnson rivalry, which coincidentally sounds a lot like Angel Reese and Clay. I mean, and of course, I mean, there are other things, Jerry Buss and Jeannie, everything, the whole nine. But I just want to reiterate the fact that just because, a league is losing money, or you want to make it in your mind that WNBA owes the NBA or whatever, does not mean that this league is not doing well.
Yeah.
Shay, I said it earlier that, the benchmark, the ultimate tell is expansion. Because guess what? You can't expand if you don't got no money, yo.
Right. Yeah.
Any expendable funds. And what comes along with that is, yes, some of these owners are going to have to come up off of a little bit more of this change. And you should want to, because you're making all of the money. Pay those women. I completely 100% support them in those sentiments.
Yep. They're currently earning about 9% of the total revenue. And
yes.
NBA players make 50% of the revenue.
Right.
They don't even
it make sense.
They don't
like,
even want
how
50%.
can you hate on that?
Yeah, they don't even want a whole 50%. They just want a better share.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, how can you hate on that? Like, dude, if you're hating on that, something's just seriously wrong with you. And, you should want this. You should want to see this because, this could be your daughter, your sister, whatever. This is just a symbol for, not just for the WNBA players, but women in general, dude. Like, come on. Yep. But, I want to tip my cap off to the WNBA because they just really did a fantastic weekend. We just witnessed this year's NBA All Star Weekend, and what did we say about that product?
Oh, phenomenal!
Absolute trash.
Oh, the
All Star Game.
Yeah.
Absolute trash.
You know
okay?
What? You know what I did? Because I'm stupid. So, like, the WNBA All Star Game was a thrilling game. Absolutely loved it. And I was like, man, that's way better than whatever the NBA put on. I totally forgot that NBA's trash All Star stupid tournament thing. So I went back. I went back to the I looked it up on Wikipedia or whatever, see what the score was, and then I saw that format. I was like, no wonder I forgot. That thing was trash. Yeah.
Absolute trash. Do we not remember Draymond Green saying this is the absolute worst event? Do we not remember Charles Barkley saying, what the hell are we doing? Like it was absolute trash.
Yeah.
Okay? Like the WNBA, and honestly, nobody who watches the Pro Bowl like that. Who takes like? Come on. Okay, the next best All-Star event to me is the MLB, the Major Leagues. Because you had the Home Run Act, they still put on a fairly decent product in their All-Star weekend. But I mean, I gotta tell you, the WNBA just rose all the way to the top because of the whole entire experience. Like you said, the game was exciting. The skills challenges were exciting. The players were personable. I mean, the mascots are better. Like, even the mascots, everybody on this planet knows who Ellie the Elephant is. Everybody. And if you don't, it's just because you don't like sports at all.
Right.
Okay? Like, which brings me to one of the biggest parts of the All-Star weekend was the Stud Buds live stream with two players of the Minnesota Lynx. And I just want to make sure I get this right. Courtney Williams, who I've been following since they won the championship. She was fantastic. She was great last season. And Natasha Hodman. Sorry. T. Yeah. These two went on a 72-hour live official WNBA stream next season. I can guarantee you that, because of the success. And you know, this also speaks to how awesome and personable these players are. They took it on their own accord, also to build their own brand, to do a live 72-hour stream. Do you know how many people was locked into that whole entire thing all weekend? Like tens of thousands of people the whole entire time. More than enough for me to take notice and be like, dude, the WNBA is going to market these two next All-Star weekend.
Oh, for sure. And if you haven't,
and they about to be in their whole bag, because I mean, they had everything from Commissioner Engelbert dancing and twerking to cutting up with Skylar Diggins, Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, you know, meeting them on the orange carpet and saying like, yo, you know, I've been watching everything at parties afterwards. Like, you know, I cannot stop watching this live stream. I mean, they were the biggest thing of All-Star Weekend.
Oh, yeah. And
T wasn't even playing. Courtney just brought her along because, you know, they're homies and like best friends, and she wanted to make sure she could experience it too. But they were absolutely everywhere. And like I said, it was just the absolute cherry on top to an amazing product of an All-Star weekend. And yes, for all of you guys out here who think that these women don't deserve this money, the NBA needs to take notes, because in my opinion, the WNBA is on their heels.
Yep.
Definitely on their heels, and not even just with the All-Star product, but the actual play in the games. I mean, it's the WNBA is closer to 90s basketball than the NBA, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, that's a great.
There are no flops. There is no flopping. I mean, these girls are diving for the ball. They're body slamming each other. They're playing hard D. Like, you know, the NBA need to take notes all the way through.
Yeah. That's
all the way through. And pay them girls, man.
Yeah, pay them.
Pay them girls. Yeah, so, you know, great weekend. Oh, my God, I'm forever grateful to Indianapolis. It was just such an amazing experience. And yeah, you know, I kind of made like a little video montage. Maybe, Mark, if you feel up to it, you can download it without the music, because you're not going to be able to put the music on there. But you can still put it up for people to, you know, to kind of get full experience of the whole weekend. And maybe we could put that up on the page.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. In the few minutes that we do have left, do you want to do preseason football?
I don't know. We got the Hall of Fame game this week, and then preseason really kicks up next week. Did you want to
table it to next week?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll table it to next week, and then we can like really go in, because you know there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on in preseason. We have injuries, we have movements. We have kisses on the forehead. Did you hear about that one? Christ almighty.
What?
Did you hear about that?
No.
Oh my